You knew the meltdowns were going to happen as soon as Eric July announced that he was going to have his Saints and Sinners Anthology project posted, and it's been pretty glorious to watch on X as there've just been anger and fear and this comic's so terrible. Why would anybody ever pay for this? This is something so bad. It was blah, blah, blah. Even though they have no clue about anything about what it is because they haven't read it or anything like that. They just know that they are triggered by Heel versus Babyface, Drunk 3PO, Eric July, Mauler, the Soska sisters, and, of course, the Critical Drinker, which, of course, makes this thing go pretty good. Now, we are a couple days into this now, and it is already at 3,500 books sold, $126,000 in sale. Huge success. This is a crazy thing. For an anthology comic, you never see anything like this, ever. And this is exactly why they're making big waves, and this is exactly why they're so upset all the way around. Now, your boy Zack finally got around to doing some reaction to it. It's not a video yet. I expect it to come, because this is what tends to happen with the meltdowns here. And we're going to get into this in just a moment. So please hit the like, subscribe button as we talk about all things in comics here. I'm very excited for this project myself. It looks like a lot of fun. And I'm a comic creator as well. If you guys are new to the channel, I have been making my own books for a long, long time and doing about what Eric July does. I have my full universe with lots of stuff. I just gave a big projects update over on Subscribestar. I did some yesterday too and talked about how I've got $10,000 of comic book expenses. Oh my gosh. And I kind of went over in detail what they were if you haven't watched that video because it didn't pop up on your feed. Go watch it because it is worth checking out from just the creator's perspective. And I want you to sign up for my newsletter because I have these projects in development. They're not all out yet. We're going to do crowdfunds and the like, and they are going to be coming out, and I don't want to lose you. So if you are interested in independent comics, if you like good fun, if you want a real professional who is doing things right here, you are in the right spot. This is everything your boy Zack ever promised out of a movement and the like, everything Comicsgate ever promised, but they never delivered upon. We're delivering here, and it is awesome. The books we have in development right now, some of my early readers are telling me, wow, these are the best things I've seen in a long time out of anybody. So please get on this newsletter. You get 3 free books just for doing so. And, of course, that's a $50 value just for signing up so I can stay in touch with you. Thank you guys so much for being here. And, of course, I've got a web store, too. If you want to support and read some books in advance, like I said, I'm here to cultivate readers, and that's exactly what we're doing. That's our movements to cultivate independent comic book readers who are opposed to the mainstream and want something different. We have sci-fi, we have fantasy, we have superhero, everything out there because we do a little something for everybody. I've got everything available on digital, too, to make it easy to read. And so please check it out and support our channel, guys. We are doing the work here, and I'm spending so much time and energy on this stuff. I really would love for you to check it out. Great reviews all the way around, and thank you guys so much for supporting us over the years. So let's get into why your boy Zack's so triggered by this book coming out right here. This is what he posted first, and you can see it right here. It was a passive-aggressive statement, was the first one, but then he keeps going and just blasts the same people over and over and over again because this is what he does. Right-wing YouTubers, when they spot a lonely middle-aged man, and they realize they can get some money out of him by selling the idea that he's joining a community by buying their YouTuber merch. Well, this is pretty interesting because, you know, Zack, you made a living off of YouTube for a long time there, and maybe you got a real job now and you're not doing that anymore, but gosh, that's what you did back in 2018. People went for you because you were talking about what was going on in the culture, talking about how woke it was, blasting people in the mainstream industry, talking about their looks and the like. You guys remember that? You know, Zack's very mad about people talking about women's looks and how they're ugly or whatever. But if you remember, he did that very hard about Mags Visaggio, Brian, of course, the dude, and Heather Rantos, of course. So he was talking about that. It's all such a crazy thing. Like, these people are literally just doing what Zack in 2018 did, talking about films, talking about TV shows and the like, and he doesn't approve when they're talking about movies and TV shows. I guess you're only allowed to complain about the industry if you're your boy Zack talking about comics, because even Thinking Critical is not allowed to do that according to Zack anymore. But you can see this is all what it's about, because this book is a collection of major YouTubers. This is a collection of people who are movers and shakers in the industry, and they all have their stories out. and are in here. And so he's calling it YouTuber merch and a community to try to denigrate their product passive-aggressively. But it's very interesting because the only reason people ever rallied behind you, Zach, was because you were doing this exact same thing. You were reviewing comics on YouTube. You had your Jawbreakers. You were blacklisted. You were a cause. You were fighting Mark Waid in a lawsuit. You guys remember that? The reason people went in was because they were buying your merch, Zach, for the cause and the community, which then you failed to cultivate. In fact, you just ran away from. Everybody looked to you as a leader, and it turns out you were just not a very good leader at all. And it's really, really sad that like these people get propped up in these positions that aren't good leaders. It makes me kind of think like I kind of think like people like are allowed to get big on these platforms to a certain level that aren't good leaders, that don't actually have any purpose to them, because that way there's a controlled opposition, and when the opposition is so inept, Marvel and DC and the big Disneys and et cetera of the world can still maintain control of the culture. Eric July is a real threat to that, which is pretty interesting. We're a real threat to that over here, and so you could see like the differences of what's going on now versus what was going on in 2018. We're building better, and it's really a nice thing that's going on. And you know, if a bunch of people want to get together and make a book and use a bunch of their platforms to like make it sell better and draw attention to the Rippaverse, God bless them. That's a good thing. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Pretending this doesn't happen all the time is a thing. You guys remember how they were adding J.J. Abrams' son to write Marvel comics and things like that back in the day? They got Stephen King to write some comics, Orson Scott Card back in the day. They love it. They remember they had Iman Vellani co-write a Ms. Marvel book to like try to make it, and you know, it was co-write, so she didn't write shit, let's be honest, but they slapped her name on it. Why? Because they were trying to build that big celebrity to actually get somebody's butts in the comic book shops from the TV show interest, right? And so this was pretty interesting. Like, this has been a tried and true thing. If you have a following, it makes you more money when you sell stuff. That's how it goes. And your boy Zach used to do this. He has a huge following. He's got 100,000 freaking YouTube subscribers, which he doesn't deserve. It's very unfortunate. He used to have 120,000, by the way. He's just been slowly declining over the years. And with this, he's just squandered it. And it seems like he's just mad that he's squandered it and just keeps lashing out rather than actually getting his butt in gear, making some great comics, and actually delivering things on time and criticizing the mainstream industry, which is why people came to his comic channel in the first place. Oh my gosh, there's a lot to criticize right now. Have you heard they made Dr. Doom gay? Well, you didn't hear it from your boy Zach, did you? No, you might have just heard it here yet first because nobody pays attention to mainstream comics anymore. But oh my gosh, this is what Marvel and comics is in 2025. They are doubling down on everything that made them go crazy back in the early 2015, 2016, 2017. It's terrible out there. Now, there's good comics out there as well, and of course, your boy Zach might want to focus on that, but he doesn't. He just focuses on these people because here's Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers. No way these guys are straight. Impossible, because Jeremy criticized Snow White failing. These are the weakest men who ever existed. Talking about Ironheart trailer goes full MCU, which it does. And, of course, here we go back to Rippaverse makes a deal. Jay returns, that's Drunk 3PO, to comics with his latest story, Across to Bear, featured in our new anthology, work from Achromatic Chronicles and Geeks and Gamers. Now, he's bringing a powerful new tale to life. Support the story, support Jay, grab your copy now. And then he goes, support. Well, why shouldn't they support? Jay, by the way, is one of the nicest freaking people on the internet. He puts his money where his mouth is. I've got the Achromatic Chronicles. My son loved them, 11 years old, and it was targeted at young people. That was the whole point. That's why I got it for him, and I had him read it for me, and I told him, this is meant to be something for you, and it worked, and it did a good job, and he made a bunch of money on his comic books. Zach should be happy. That is something that should be done. That is something we all should be able to applaud. And of course, Jay puts his money where his mouth is. He actually supports other independent comic books too. I've never seen your boy Zach do it in his life, but Jay has. These people are, like I said, good people, and this is where it makes it very, very difficult to do these little scare quotes and angry little things, and such passive aggressive from Zach. Zach is so mad about this when he doesn't even have a rant in him on it. He's just fuming. He did this passive aggressive thing, and then he mocks the word support as if you're not supposed to support people you like. What do you want to support then? You want to support Marvel and DC, your boy Zach? Those people hate you. They want you dead. Why are you still buying their products? This is the one thing that doesn't make sense over the entire years. Why do you keep going to the comic shop and buying in Marvel and DC comic books and support these freaking weirdo SJWs who want us all dead? And of course, they hate everything we stand for in existence. Why are you supporting that? Support Jay, you Boi Zack, of anything. My gosh, it's absolutely infuriating to watch this stuff. Here it is. He's mad at Critical Drinker for reacting to the Ironheart trailer, which of course is his job. Why are you mad about that? It's crazy stuff. And this is good. Like I said, like with Junk 3PO doing his books, which he's doing a good job. Eric July is doing his books he's doing. The Soska sisters are a long time, film veterans and the like who are doing things. The Critical Drinker, if you don't know, like he's written novels, like they're good, and he's done a lot of work himself. He's been making short films, and it's like these guys are all actually actively trying to change the culture in a good way, which is why they're gaining so much support. Your Boi Zack, you just got to get back on that track. Criticize the woke stuff again. Focus on your products. Get people to check out your products again, and you'll be happy. My gosh, it's absolutely infuriating. That's pretty neat. Heel versus Babyface, and of course Mauler. Those guys are new to this, and we'll see what their output is. And it's pretty interesting stuff. I'm glad they're involved in it as well. Again, just like this is such like a weird take and so passive aggressive. He calls all these people gay and all this stuff over and over and over again. But it's pretty gay to be focused on these people and just mad that they're doing YouTube reviews of popular properties that people watch. Oh my gosh, what a crime. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Guys, we are building the real deal here as well. Check it out. Get on my newsletter so I don't miss you. 9 graphic novels in development right now. I was showing off one of the pages yesterday, some of the sci-fi stuff, beautiful stuff that we're working with. You're going to love it. Check it out. And please grab something from my bookstore to support us. Yeah, support the channel, support our art, because this is the alternative. This is the future, and this is how we create it together. It's really great stuff. Thanks for being here. We'll be back soon.